All right, hopefully at this point you guys have gone over making your own stamp and made a tile out of that already. Second lesson I want you guys to go over is making textures with found objects. And remember when you first get your tile, it's gonna be a little bit rough shape, probably like this one. It's got some textures on there, not perfectly square. I want you guys to really clean it up first. Probably the easiest way to do that is by using a plastic rib tool. And even if you're going to be putting texture in here, I think this is important to do. Just get the surface even. And there will be parts of the texture that actually don't get touched, so those will show through. Now I know that I'll be putting a lot of pressure on this piece, so I know the shape is going to be changed a little bit, so we won't worry about the square of it right now because that will probably change. All right, so basically you can look around the room and find all kinds of things. I know, for example, one of my favorite textures is actually the diamond tread pattern on our metal stairs. I'll just walk over there and take a piece of clay and throw it against there. Makes a great texture. You can bring in stuff, you can go outside, find some leaves or anything like that, and all those things will work great. So be creative in what you find, but I do have a bin of fabrics and other things that you can welcome to use. And so here we go. This is some kind of mesh fabric. I'm just taking a pony roller here and pushing that in. The more I push this in, the more the fabric's going to embed itself into the clay. And when I pull that off, yeah, that's pretty cool. I love fish, so I saw these. I got 2 of these this summer, and these are texture mats, fish scale or dragon scale. And you can also just take your whole piece and slam it on there. In this case, I want to just grab a little bit of this piece. So I'm just going to use that pony roller again. And I love that texture. I'm going to be playing with that a lot this year. This is my AV cart mat, which is no longer on my AV cart. And let me just show you, it looks like the slam piece down. I'll use the back side of this actually. If you just find something, like I've been wanting to do this to a manhole cover for a while. Yeah, if you just find a texture you like, make sure you know your clay's not going to stick to it. But I'm just going to take this piece and slam it down. Sorry if that was loud. And you'll notice great texture in the back. I'm just going to do it actually, maybe we'll try it again in a different direction and see what happens. Yeah, that's cool. So just slam it down with some confidence and see what happens. All right, we'll go back to my other side though. You'll notice too that I've been working on a piece of paper. When clay is really wet and you're putting a lot of pressure on it like this, it can really tend to stick to the table. So you put all this pressure on it, you get this awesome texture, and then you can't get your piece off, which is a real bummer. So make sure you're working on some paper, tar paper. You can put some cornstarch down the table if you want. Just make sure you're not going to stick. Okay, upstairs, I promise you'll keep these in order, but I have some letterpress letters and numbers, and these are fantastic. For pressing in. And we have a whole variety of sizes. If you just try and keep them some semblance of order, I'd appreciate that. What else we got here? We got a fair bit of lace and doilies and random stuff in that bin as well, so let's see what this does. All right, yeah, that will glaze. So one of the great things about texture is the glaze will fall off the high areas and settle into low areas, so it'll really highlight the texture. And also there's a lot of times when texture is a consideration of its function. So for example, if you have a tumbler, a glass without a handle, and that glass is wet, it's really nice to have a little bit of texture on there because it will help you grip it a little bit better. All right, you can see here, I slammed this thing down and put a lot of pressure, and basically the size is off now, so we're not even remotely to a 5x5 square. So I'm going to get this back to a 5x5 square. And I'm going to mention this a lot this semester. Paying attention to detail is clutch for this class. So if you leave your edges kind of crumbly and boogery and you know it's not square and things are just off, basically, frankly, it's going to just look like a high school project, just like a normal, you know, high school kid. Paying attention to detail, kind of like the last 10% of a project, cleaning up edges, making sure everything's tight. That's what will really set you off as basically a professional artist. So the last 10% is really important here. Just really pay attention. I would say 5 or 10 minutes, honestly, and getting this kind of dialed in would be fantastic. I'm not going to spend that with you here, but you basically get the idea. When you're done, you're going to put your name on the back, an hour, throw this in the kiln room, and that's working with found textures. Have fun and be creative.